Hey y'all, you're tuned into K2K, the podcast where we spill tea, heal out loud, and fangirl with zero shame. I'm Megan.
And I'm Sarah. We're a duo for deep chats, wild laughs, and honest moments.
Whether you're talking K-pop comebacks, mental health check-ins, or those, wait, is it just me girl combos?
We've got you covered. So grab your snacks, get cozy, and let's vibe.
Welcome to K2K. Ah! Okay, that was our first intro. Sarah, how does it feel?
Awkward, but nice.
Listen, over time, it's going to get better. Things will get better. Today, y'all, the first episode, we're going to go into our origin stories. Something like I said, origin stories.
Origin trail.
We're going, today we're taking you on the Oregon Trail because we are that old in K-pop world. K-pop time. We're going to talk about our experience with K-pop, our mental health journey on it, and maybe a little spill some tea. I don't know what's going to happen today. What do you think, Sarah?
We'll see. We might be feeling a little frisky. Who knows?
A little frisky. We are sitting on my bed right now, everybody. Welcome to my room.
This is not that podcast.
This is not that podcast. You need to tune into the other podcast. That's for the OnlyFans account.
Patreon.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Patreon's better. Okay. Sarah, do you want to kick us off today?
Sure. Do you want me to start just talking about myself or asking you about yourself?
So, how'd you get into K-pop? Where did it all begin for you?
So for me, my mom actually got me a pen pal when I was a kid. I think it was like penpalworld.com was literally the website. And I had a Korean pen pal, and we were the same age. So I started out in like middle school. And I'm 33, y'all, so that's like
we're both 33.
This is ancient. This is ancient times.
Really old.
20 years ago. But had a pen pal, and she kind of got me into the culture, the music, some of the food, which was interesting because it was mainly like convenience store snacks, and this one thing was like a weird boiled egg in a tube, and it was not great. But
girl,
she introduced me to FT Island. And at the time, DBSK, but you know them as TVXQ.
Yes, I was confused by that the other day, so yeah. Yes.
And just kind of started there. I think my first like alt bias group was TVXQ. Jaejoong has always been my bias for that group, but then they split up, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole moment. Yeah.
Then I guess I went to SHINee, and then
as you should.
Yes, but then obviously my bias from that passed away. And then 2014, I saw, I think it was on Mnet. I can't remember if it was Mnet or, what's the other one? K-Bank? What is the other?
There's so many. In my head right now, all I can think is Mnet.
It used to be called K-Bank was the other one. I can't
one of the shows,
now.
Yeah.
But I saw them, it may have been their debut stage or maybe one or two after that, but it was like right when they first debuted, BTS. And I liked them, and I listened to some of their music, but I wasn't like really into them until 2016 with Namjoon's Do You album, and I've just been with BTS ever since. So
it just escalated further and further after that.
Yeah. And 2016 is also when I got my divorce. So I was married, got married young, divorced young. I guess you can call it young. It's like 9 years ago now. Wow.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I think it was, what was the, I think it was the You Never Walk Alone album?
Oh.
Wings. I think it was Wings.
Wings, yes.
And I was just like rocking out to that in my car every day, like going from school back to an apartment I shared with someone I was getting a divorce with, and it was very weird, very awkward.
Two divorcees hanging out. Hey, listen, that's a vibe right there. We got so much tea to talk about.
But just been into it ever since, and like the fandom is like very, I don't know. I mean, you're going to talk about your story too, but like, as you all hear our stories, they're similar in a way.
Yes.
And I think everyone sort of has a similar story, both just how they come into K-pop, but also BTS.
Yeah, it all kind of, I feel like most stories begin and almost end with BTS. Yeah. Like they're getting into it, and that's not ending yet, but it's the beginning of the journey of getting into K-pop and healing at the same time, I feel like.
Yeah. I guess healing for me, I can tell a little bit more about mine, I guess. I was going into computer animation before I got divorced, and when, like, getting divorced for me was sort of like a who I thought I was and what I thought my life journey was going to be completely derailed. It was something completely different. And I didn't know who I was anymore or what I wanted to do or what the purpose of life was. Had a really bad like existential crisis for years.
Relatable.
My sister could attest to that. Like she even got me something. What does it say? She got me something that I have hung up in my apartment still. And it's just about like basically just always dream, because even if you don't reach those dreams, you'll find who you are along the way.
It sounds like a BTS moment.
Yeah. But I have
some
like
song.
A Love Yourself tattoo, and then I Live So I Live on this side, which was kind of, it helped me find who I was without knowing where I wanted to go, because I've always been like a nurturing person and I've always wanted to help people. So before I realized I wanted to be a therapist, which I am now,
she's a therapist. She's legal now.
I'm a legal therapist. Passed the licensing exam, whatever. But
she did it. Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you.
You did it.
Air gun emojis. Yeah, I just knew that my purpose in life was to love others regardless of what I was doing, and that helped me a whole lot. And then during peak COVID, I ended up going to South Korea.
I was going to say, mention the Korea. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Lived in South Korea in Hwaseongsi, Dongtan Daero.
Taught English there, right? To how old were they? Little children's?
From 4 until 13.
Oh, yeah. 4, 13. Dang, I thought they were small.
No, all the way up. We taught kindergarten and elementary and technically middle school, but they don't really do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I tutored adults too, so that was interesting. On my free time to get extra cash, even though you're not supposed to technically, as long as your school's okay with it, it's fine.
Hey, you gotta make money.
Yeah, but lived over there for 2 years, peak COVID, so they had like the mask mandate.
Yeah, she was there. Wow, in the trenches there with the peak COVID over there. They were very strict. We're strict here, but they were very strict. I feel like
they didn't lift it until I left in 2023. Completely, like
right, it's crazy.
They had just lifted it for outside, so you could go outside without a mask, but couldn't go anywhere inside without a mask until right as I got on the, like, I was in the airplane and my friend texted me and said they're lifting the inside mask mandate, and I was like, yep, they sure are.
As soon as I leave, they're like, okay, Sarah's gone, let's lift it. I'm just kidding.
But really though, I get like that. It was really cool over there, getting to like experience the culture and music, like even like busking, which is like live singing on the street, like seeing that.
You could say it's bussin'.
Yeah. Just being in first person was really cool. The only downside is air condition. I'm a girl who needs and loves my air condition.
Feel that.
Most buildings are really well air conditioned, but like some of the apartments you get as an English teacher or a little older, and the air conditioning is great. It's also hot as all hell in the summer and freezing in the winter, so it's always extremes.
It's a great combo.
Yeah, but it makes their like wildlife really pretty. Like the colors are really vivid and everything they have.
Right, and the seasons. I've not been there, but the seasons almost remind me of Kentucky's seasons a little bit. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little more extreme in the cold and the hot, but we always seem to have like the same season change at the same time.
You're right.
So I thought that's kind of interesting. So we're kind of used to it, but not.
And in Kentucky, we say like the weather's bipolar.
Yes, for
over
sure.
There, they say it changes like a hurricane. So it's very similar, like the way they talk about how their weather changes in us too. Like it's just very.
It could either snow today, rain, I don't know, sleet. I don't know, all the above. We never know. We just know when it happens. That's Kentucky, y'all. Welcome.
So Megan, tell us about your story.
My story. I did have notes because I'm a note girly. Anyway. So, let's see. Where does it all begin for me? I will say that my unofficial beginning in K-pop is actually when I was in high school, which is many years ago, children. I stumbled upon what I now know as Big Bang. And I believe it was one of T.O.P. songs or G-Dragon songs. I didn't know what it was, didn't know what I was watching, but I thought it was a cool vibe. And then I just stopped. Years later down the road, I married. Sorry. By the time 2017, I'm watching the American Music Awards. And then all of a sudden, bam! These boys dancing, vibing, thrusting. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something and I kind of like it. And it was BTS, DNA. At that moment, I was pulled in.
What do you think shifted in you when you saw it that was different from the first time you listened to K-pop?
Oh, so if we're going to go that deep. Okay. So that time, I don't know, I think Sarah can relate to this very much. We live in southeastern Kentucky.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's racist, but people kind of made fun of me for being interested in like anime in Asian culture. So I kind of was like, I don't be made fun of, and I felt like it was a weird taboo because I didn't know anybody else who was doing this or vibing with it. So I just kind of just forgot about it, left it to the wayside. I still watch a little anime here and there, but I don't know, people aren't very friendly when it comes to something different. Now, it's different now.
Yeah.
But I think it was 2009, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Still a little hairy. Because that was before Psy, Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
That's how old we are. But I kind of got out of it. Life, happens. I'm basic then in my life. I'm just a basic girl. People pleasing my way through life. Being a good little girl, And I ended up getting married, meeting somebody. And that's when I was at my house watching the American Music Awards. And I just felt like, wow, this is really cool. And I got curious. It's always how it works. You get a little curious. You're like, I just want to look it up, let's Google it. And I was a closet fan for a while. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew I was into it. I'm sitting here vibing to BTS episodes, run episodes, Bon Voyage, all the above. I'm like, this is interesting. I felt the shift. I think BTS really just changed my total outlook on life. So after I got into K, I was into a secret fan for a while. In this meantime, my marriage was not good. My now ex-husband had a lot of problems. Let's say a lot of addiction problems.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so stupid because I didn't know the signs for people who had addiction problems. So I was very innocent and I didn't know any better. And I finally would show people things that I found and like, oh my God, Megan, that's illegal and they can't be doing that. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So, but going through K-pop kind of helped me elevate myself. I would say brought me to the surface of, wow, I can dream big and have big dreams. And I had really bad anxiety. Like I knew something, wasn't into my intuition. I didn't know what that was really. I will say this, I forgot to mention. When I was on my way to get married in Florida at 4 a.m., a deer jumps out in front of our car and we total it. Was that a sign? Yes. Did I know it was a sign? No. Did I get married? Yes. Bad decision all the way around. So listen to your signs, y'all. Deer jumps out in the middle of the road, hit your car, go the hell home.
We've actually never talked about this before, but like when I got married, he left the marriage certificate back at the Airbnb he was staying at. I guess it wasn't Airbnb,
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
like a
hotel
thing. Yeah,
right.
And he had to go back and get it, and we had to delay the wedding. And I wonder if that was my sign too.
I feel like now that we know, I feel like BTS led us to intuition. I don't know, more self-awareness and
like surrounding awareness too. Like
yes,
just in tune with things. Yeah.
But I'm leaving through my notes real quick.
No, you're good. While you are, do you think if you hadn't seen BTS like on the AMAs, what do you think your life trajectory would be a lot different than what it is now?
Oh, 100%. Maybe, I don't know, I could say maybe eventually things would start clicking into place, but I just don't feel like I would be as vibrant and outgoing as I am now because BTS led me to the path of also working on my mental health, reading self-help books, and also being more in tune with my ADHD because at that time, when I was younger is when I was diagnosed, and I called it my chill pill that my mom gave me. But and I assumed, a lot of people just assumed at that time that it just went away. And I didn't understand why I struggled so much in school or why I was a little bit different than everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I think that was part of my depression too, a little bit at that point. I didn't understand why I wasn't like a lot of other people. And then BTS helped me revisit that part of myself and get re-diagnosed, which led me to go on a little bit of therapy. So now that I'm more self-aware of my ADHD, I know what I'm dealing with. But I don't know if I would have really been as happy as I am now, or rediscovered myself.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense.
No, that makes sense.
One of the notes that I have that I wrote down is K-pop gave me permission to dream again. It gave me joy. And it gave me the confidence through music, through seeing these artists speak openly about hardships and growth, helped me make the hardest decision of my life. I filed for divorce. Actually, the funny story is, we were doing it, we're separating. And the family had me served at work. They served me papers at work. I'm the one already initiating everything. I left, I moved out, and just, they were very bad with this divorce, and they served me papers at work, and I really didn't care, but I'm just, that's real nice of you guys. You're so sweet. Your son has a lot of issues, and you're just gonna.
It's also bringing it into your workplace. That's very.
Oh, I know. That's just how they were. But it really got me through it. My first concert, which you were at, we didn't know each other then at the time. I went with my mother. We went to Chicago, 2019.
Chi-town.
BTS. We were in. I didn't know how to buy tickets at the time. I bought tickets. I actually called.
What? I didn't think I knew that.
So that day of the tickets, I didn't know you had to be in there early. I didn't know anything about buying tickets. So I called and I was like, yeah, I need to buy tickets, or I actually think I bought one pair of tickets on the phone, and then I bought the other ones online. I ended up getting 2 nosebleeds on the side, which is very scary in a stadium. It's just like, you're just going to fall to your death. If you're drunk, especially. And then day 2, I was on the floor way back. I learned my lesson about getting the floor seat way back. But that was my first exposure to the fandom at a concert.
And you're so lucky, because that concert, they had seats on the floor.
I know. They had so many seats. I'm a seat girly. Even though we're standing the whole time, I don't want to be elbowing people. I will, but I don't want to.
My first concert was at New York. Their first time at the New York Stadium. Well, New Jersey.
Was it MetLife? Oh yeah,
yep.
MetLife. Yeah.
And it was so, it was a rainy, cold day, but everyone was so packed in at the floor that people were passing out and had to be body surfed over to the outside edge because nobody.
Somebody helped them.
Yeah.
I just seen Stray Kids just had their first concert at Seattle, and I just read a story about them having to wave down somebody once again. People just pass out all the time. Some little small child, they said, they'd lift her up and take her out. So
don't bring small children to a pit.
Oh,
that's something else.
Oh, we dealt with that, and it was a small child, and this was my personal first experience with someone. It was hot, and they just had they had a bad smell to them. So we were sweating, we're pushed in there together, and the people in front of me with a small child, they smell like they left their clothes in the washer for days and then put them on.
See, you thought that. To me, it smelled like cat urine. Like somewhat like a
that
cat.
Also could be the same smell.
Like a cat had peed on their clothes and they wore the clothes. That's what it smelled like to me.
Yeah, that was really my first experience with the smell. Yeah, this is getting deep into the catacombs of # your worst experience at a K-pop concert.
Mine was I know we're off track.
No, we're off track. It's this ADHD girl. Let's keep going. Yes. Roll with it. We got this.
Eric Nam. When we were there,
yes.
We'd stayed out in the heat all day, and I did not eat well enough or stay hydrated well enough. So,
we did not.
Right before the concert, I think it was right as the concert started, I started to feel like I was going to faint. And somehow the woman in front of us noticed. I don't know how.
I'm standing next to you. I don't know how I didn't notice this.
I was just, teetering around, but I don't remember.
She must have looked you in the eyeballs or something. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, she's going down.
She gave me her open eaten bag of chips, and it saved me.
Thank God. I know. I didn't even know. I looked over and she's giving you chips. I'm like, are you okay?
If you're watching this, thank you. I don't know your name, but we know you and we appreciate you.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate you helping us hold the line so people don't cut in front of us.
Yes, that was a rough concert.
People cutters, we know who you are.
There's no point.
I know you, and I remember you. If I see you at the next concert, you ain't skipping in front of me. I remember. Anyway, back on track, y'all. So, our origin story really just begins with BTS, like we said earlier. Do you have a certain video or content? I mean, it doesn't have to be BTS, but do you have a certain video or content that you always go back to that helps you, like when you're feeling down or upset about something? You're like, you know what? this is my favorite thing to watch when I'm upset, or any kind of mine, for example, would probably be the Run episodes. Not Run BTS, but the Korean Run show.
Running Man.
Running Man. I cannot think. I just brain fart. Running Man. For some reason, I'll just put that on, and those guys made me laugh. And I remember one time I was like upset, depressed, or something. I was crying, I was having a bad mental day, and I just put on Running Man. And I was like, this is great. But also BTS content, other K-pop content, but mainly I just vividly remember watching Running Man a lot, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
Well, actually, before my master's program, I didn't have time to like absorb content and study at the same time. So, so before that, it was actually BTS Run for me.
Yes. Which is also as a goat, yeah.
Black Swan.
Yeah.
It helps me, and well, like, I have 2 autoimmune diseases, and one of them affects my eyesight. So, like, when I'm not on my medicine, my eyes swell in my head, and I go blind. And if it's not caught in time, I will stay blind. And Black Swan came out, like, a little bit after I went through that the first time. And if you don't know BTS and you don't know what Black Swan's about, basically, it's like an artist dies twice. Once when they can no longer create art, and the second time when they actually die. It's based off of, is it a Greek mythology, or is it...
I know it is. Yeah, something. It's from a book, maybe too, or something.
Maybe.
I think there's a book about it, but yeah, it's
based off something.
Artsy.
Yeah, and yes. it rings true. Like, I also consider myself creative. Like, I paint. I can sculpt. I can do a lot of art things. Because my first degree was in art and computer animation. So
exactly.
I guess for me, like, the fear of not being able to see anymore would almost be just as bad as not being able to hear, because I also like music. So, like, just...
Oh, for sure. I think, that's a bit... I think everybody who can see has the fear of going blind or something. Yeah, but yeah, for sure, that would be terrifying.
And it might be weird that that's my comfort song, but it is, I guess, just because it helps you remember the other people.
Everybody has, yeah.
That way, yeah.
Euphoria. I remember right before the divorce, I was actually trying to learn the beginning before, but over the years, anytime I would hear that song play, I just felt just a huge amount of emotion build up in me. And I would sometimes cry automatically. The beginning of it. I try to learn the beginning of it, but I always call it my forever song. It's still one of my favorite songs. It's, I guess, maybe where I've healed a lot. I feel less emotional about it. But right now, A Sudden Shower by Eclipse from the show Lovely Runner. That's kind of my number one right now. You need to listen to that.
I do.
Do you listen to it?
No, I know. I mean, I do need to listen to it.
No, it's very good. It's, if you've watched the drama and then you listen to that song, Sanjay. My girlies will know that name, Sanjay. It'll make you cry. It makes me cry, but now it's actually on my Instagram as my song up there, because it's also now like one of my forever songs. I guess I would say it's probably one of my manifesting songs. My manager over here is telling me we need to move on to the next topic. Okay, manager Susan over here.
Give her a cool name like Anastasia.
Juicy J. That's what we call a guy at work. Juicy J.
Juicy J.
I'm peeing while you guys...
Okay, you go pee.
Dear.
Okay, let's do about 2 more minutes.
Side note. Do you realize...
I know!
We look like...
I'll have to show her that.
What were we doing?
Those are from my old Christmas party when she worked with us, like, 2 years ago?
Oh, that's wild.
I forgot I had those.
Okay, so this is literally when that Wednesday show came out.
Yes.
Are we not?
And I had my colored hair.
Yes.
Like, we were them.
You were.
This was us. Or we were just... Oh, I missed that. My colored hair.
It's so funny. Because that's... I mean...
I just can't... My hair can't take any more coloring every 3 weeks. Or my budget. So... Because if I'm going to have colored hair, I want it to be well maintained and look good. Pastel pink. The pinks. Pink is my... As you could tell, we're 2 pink girlies.
Our mics are off.
Or are they?
Okay, so Megan, just asking more about the general topic of our podcast and like K-pop and healing.
Yep.
What are some beliefs or inner messages that K-pop helped rewrite for you?
Oh man, this is a deep subject for me. Beliefs or
inner messages, like an inner monologue kind of thing. Like how your inner thoughts run.
Oh man, I have ADHD. I don't know. There's just like a party going on in 5 different sectors of my brain at all times.
I can give you an example for me. Just as like, I used to have a lot more like negative self-talk in my head.
Yeah.
So just like, even just like love yourself, just reminding myself like, no, like you wouldn't talk to anyone else like that. Don't have that inner thing where you're just like criticizing yourself.
It's one of those, we know, we can tell other people, hey, you should do this, but we don't do it ourselves sometimes.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing, is knowing when I'm telling this person to heal themselves, be a better you, but I'm not living to that same standards. But now I am. I think that's one thing, is I tell people this, and I've learned, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink the water.
Right.
I will give you my advice, some maybe personal lessons I've learned. But if you're not going to listen or do it, and you're going to keep complaining about the same thing. Yeah, but I've learned to maybe be more action-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of live what I say, I guess. Especially,
it's not...
I do that. I guess beliefs, it really made me believe in myself, I guess. Mm-hmm. Again, it showed me I have reasons I should love myself. I would say Love Yourself is definitely a song for BTS that was a big one too. I guess in all the Love Yourself albums, really just their stories, watching somebody work so hard for their dreams and their dreams becoming reality. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I just believe being more of an action person, reading how I could make myself better, self-care, being better yourself.
Yeah.
And all the above like that. Really, it just led me and it took years. I have to be honest. It wasn't like it happened in a month or two. Mm-hmm. It was a learning curve, because you're changing who you are.
Right.
It's you need to make new routines. Mm-hmm. You need to change your mindset. That's it's hard to change your mindset.
It is.
Like you said, you have to be intentional with it. You have to say, okay, I'm starting this negative talk right now. Mm-hmm. Let's go backwards and start this conversation again. I do look good today. I'm going to have a great day, and nothing's going to ruin my day. Just, you just really have to be self-aware and notice when you're doing the said things. Like, right. Oh, I'm just never going to be this. I'm never going to be able to make a podcast. I'm never going to be able to look good on camera. First off, who cares? Second, YOLO. I mean, stuff like that. You just can't get in your head. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard. I get it. People sometimes want to be just negative Nancy's, and that's how they live their whole lives. And they will live their whole lives like that.
Right.
But I guess it just kind of set me on the stepping stone of building to become the person I am today, who's strong, independent woman. Anyway, Sarah, your turn.
Well, to add to that, I think sometimes when people try to learn how to do, positive self-talk, they try it a few times and it doesn't take, so they get discouraged. And, from a scientific standpoint, just like when people say practice makes perfect for anything you do, it's the same for when you learn positive self-talk, because you don't have the neural pathway made in your head yet. When you practice something over and over and over, your body learns that skill and makes that actual neural pathway that connects it to a synapse, and then you know how to do it. Yep. It doesn't just happen overnight. Some people, it might develop quicker.
I like that word, quicker. Let's go. I like that word. It
might develop more quickly.
Yeah.
For other people, it might take weeks, months. It could take a year for some things. It just depends on what it is, how hard it is for you, and especially if you're so far the opposite way. Yes. Maybe you're super in, too far into the negative talk. Mm-hmm. It takes a long time to walk yourself back and start making that.
Belief in myself was one of the things. I didn't believe in myself that I could do these things. Like when I mentioned earlier, talking about, I felt stupid for a long time until I really acknowledged my ADHD. I'm like, well, I'm not stupid. I just learn different or pick up things differently than normal people would with my brain going on. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we're right towards the end.
The story of the girl.
Should we do our first outro?
I think we should. I want to end with this. One of these notes I made in my phone when we were discussing what to talk about. This says, if you're listening to this and you're in that stuck place, I want you to know it's okay to start small. It's okay if what pulls you forward is a song, a performance, or even a fan cam. If it gives you strength to move towards your best life, it matters. And I think that's a big part of it. All those things we just talked about, it pulled us in. And like I said, it took some while. But you have to make that first small step.
Right.
And keep going with it, once again. And the next time, we'll maybe mention, of course, we want you to be into these groups, but we don't want you to be into these groups. Like, was it called parasocial? Is there a scientific word for that?
There is. But in simpler terms, healthy boundaries.
Yes. Don't get weird. Don't make it weird. Healthy boundaries.
Yes.
Especially for your mental health. So our outro. How do we want to end this today, Sarah? Do you have any hopes and dreams for this podcast? Do you have any wishes to maybe doing interviews in the future? What's your hopes and dreams?
Yes. Especially since it's K2K, Korea to Kentucky, or Kentucky to Korea, whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah. I might have stole that from a song, but you'll figure it out eventually.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
We do want to interview other people. We're working on figuring out if we're going to do that through, like, Zoom calls or Microsoft Teams. You want to come to my basement? Yeah, or meet out somewhere, like coffee shop or something.
I mean, I can invite BTS to my basement. Okay. Anyway,
ignore
my mom's really nice. Anyway.
You know how we just talked about healthy boundaries?
I know. I'm keeping it healthy. I'm gonna be PG. Oh, I gotta tell y'all a quick story real fast. So I don't know if y'all remember in the fandom, like a few years ago, when people were changing out pictures in their house of the family members to like K-pop people. So like 2 years ago, we have a giant wall of pictures hanging from a wall. And I switched out one of our family photos for Jungkook. And they noticed it within 2 weeks. That picture is still hanging on that wall to this day, 2 years later. No one's touched it. I've left it there. So I have a brother named Jungkook. Stepbrother. Not blood related, yeah. But,
I don't know if you want to do the family angle with him, though, since he's
a
bias.
You know, he's my bias. I mean, that's why I said we're not blood related. We are from Kentucky, so anyway, let's just end.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, listening, watching, whichever way you're consuming this today. We're going to try to we're aiming for weekly podcasts, but we both work full-time, so we'll see how often we get these out.
Yeah.
But
and you can and leave comments down below. Tell us your stories about what led you into K-pop, how it changed your life. We want to talk to people and learn your stories. And this is what this channel is about: is community. We want to help people. We want to talk to you. You can talk to us. Tell us what's going on. I have a therapist right here, everybody. This is your free therapy time. Use her.
As a disclaimer, I cannot legally offer therapeutic services through this platform. Also, you don't have to be from Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or Korea to...
We're just two Kentucky girls that are into that stuff, so we just use... Yeah, exactly. From all over the world.
Yeah.
This is for everybody around the world who wants to be heard, seen, and loved. I don't know why that sounds so corny.
I thought
it's good, though. It's legit. That's what we want, because at one point in our lives, we wanted that. We wanted to be seen, heard, and loved, and so we want the same for you guys.
Right.
We love you. We would also like to make a quick little message about my hometown, and Sarah's next door neighbor town. Small town, London, Kentucky. Was it a week and a half ago or week? Got hit with a huge EF4 tornado that just ripped through. I think 1,500 homes are now destroyed or gone. And it killed, I think, 19 to 20 people. And it's been a shock because we're not used to tornadoes like that. We've had some, small ones maybe 20 years ago. It's just, we don't have that. So it's been very rough, very hard. We've been receiving a lot of donations, a love for many people around in Kentucky and around Kentucky. I know people from in Louisiana have set up many RV homes for people to come stay in. And I know there's several, I don't know all the, if you want to give, I don't know all the GoPro, there's a lot of people that have GoPros. GoFundMes are going on right now. I haven't looked up, but I know London had shared on one of the London, Kentucky Facebooks had shared a platform where you can share money. I'm not asking anybody to give, but I'm asking maybe for some love, some good energy, some prayers for our community and what have you. We just want to acknowledge that because it's been sad. It's been very hard, and a lot of people have been hurt and lost loved ones. So we just want to acknowledge that.
And we'll leave, we'll find some of those donation links, and we'll leave them in the description or the comments, depending on which platform you're looking at this on.
Right. Yeah. Not to end on a sad note, speaking of mental health, but it's just something we wanted to mention, and we're London strong, as they say in the banners on Facebook.
If you're listening to this and you have been affected by the storms, make sure you reach out to either your PCP, your doctor, or a mental health professional if you need any help.
And Sarah can help you find somebody.
Yeah.
Because she's a therapist. Anyway, guys, we love you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Don't forget to like, subscribe, come hang out with us more often. My name is Megan.
And I'm Sarah. And
this is K2K. Bye, guys. Woo! We did it!
I think I said Tay-to-Tay.